Hey Musties, so I want to talk a little bit here without getting too political about the coronavirus and specifically how that might impact the Godzilla franchise, mainly the legendary Monsterverse Godzilla franchise. So, as you know, Corona Panic is taking over the entire universe, at least the universe that we know of. And so, how is this going to impact Godzilla vs. Kong is scheduled for a release date later this year in November. Hopefully the coronavirus will be cleared up by then and people will be showing up to theaters for it, to support it. But there is a chance that this could go on long enough that theaters are still shut down or people are too skeptical to return to theaters. Furthermore, we have all these current movies that are supposed to be coming out this spring and early summer, which are now getting pushed back in anticipation of this coronavirus not clearing up in time. And so Godzilla vs. Kong already has competition. It's supposed to be coming out on the same day as the new James Bond movie. And even if Godzilla can top James Bond at the box office, that is still competition that's going to eat away at some of Godzilla's earnings. And if you have all these other late Hollywood summer movies coming in at the end of the year trying to, get their money back, it's just even more competition. I would say in any other year, that Legendary would maybe push Godzilla vs. Kong back a year. But since we don't know exactly when when Godzilla's rights revert back to Toho, or the deal with them goes on hiatus, it might not even be possible to extend Godzilla vs. Kong's release date. Perhaps because Toho's really anticipating making their own new Godzilla Monsterverse movies, cinematic universe movies, starting next year. They've been talking about this for years. Toho's been on record talking about how they can't make another Godzilla movie until after 2020. So perhaps 2020 is the deadline for the Monsterverse. Perhaps Legendary has to give up Godzilla or King Kong back to Universal by the end of this year. So I don't know what would happen in that scenario. I mean, sure, they've already made the movie, but are they allowed releasing it after the contract's expired? And another point is, would it even be worth it? Especially since Legendary's already dropped the ball with Godzilla King of the Monsters last year. It was a success. It made its money back, but it wasn't a blockbuster success. Each Monsterverse film has earned less in the series. It might not even be worth it for Toho, Legendary, or Universal or Warner to set back down and make this deal happen again. So, yeah, there is a big issue with that about the future of the Monsterverse continuing after this year. There's also the promotional issue. It looks like South by Southwest has been canceled. Who knows if Comic-Con will be canceled? Perhaps G-Fest will have to be canceled. Sure, you can release the trailer for the movie on the internet. That's fine, but any convention, any promotional material like that is going to be taking a hard hit also. There's many setbacks in many ways here coming for all franchises, not just Godzilla. But that's not the only problem, though. The other problem is once this coronavirus continues to spread, maybe to different parts of the globe at different times, even if Toho goes ahead with making their own Godzilla movie next year, they may have delays in their own shooting with their films. Yeah, it could be hard for the rest of this year for any movie. It could be hard even to next year. It's a real trying time here. What do you guys think? Do you have confidence that this movie will come out? Will it be a success? Is there a way Toho could maybe do a deal with Legendary and maybe create some kind of delay and say, hey, you guys can push your Godzilla vs. Kong movie back. You guys can even do another Monsterverse movie as long as you give us a few years to do our own movie in the meantime. Kind of like Shin Godzilla. I'm not exactly sure what the deal was with that, but it seems like ever since back whenever Godzilla 2014 came out, and then the sequel was delayed so Gareth Edwards could do a Star Wars movie before we knew that he wasn't even coming back. the movie got pushed back a whole 5 years, which was killer for fans. But at the same time, you know, it seemed like it didn't affect the deal with Legendary and Toho, and instead Toho went ahead and used that time to make their own movie. So maybe they could do something like that. Maybe the Monsterverse can retain the rights. So it's not complete pessimism from coming from me here. There is optimism. I'm just trying to be very skeptical either way. What are your predictions for the future? How will Godzilla and other franchises be impacted? Alright, thank you for watching. I appreciate your feedback.